Hey there. Welcome to the Eurostep Podcast Network. Post game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Bobby.
The Bucks won a fucking NBA championship. I'm Ty
Fuck
Windisch.
yeah!
I'm here with Adam McGee, Rohan Katti, Jordan Treske, Winning 6 and Eurostep Podcast.
1 in 6, Ty. They 1 in 6.
1 in 6. We'll have to get the updated art and we'll update the description and everything else. The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions. We just watched the most important Bucks event of any of our lifetimes, most of our listeners' lifetimes, literally of the last 50 years, 5 decades. Giannis drops 50 points in the home win over the Phoenix Suns. The Bucks are NBA champions. They were the worst team in the league. They had Khris and Giannis the first year. Bobby Portis going crazy on IG Live.
That's PJ now. PJ.
Oh, that's PJ.
Right.
We have so much to talk about. There's not going to be as much about the game. Maybe. Who knows at this point? I keep saying
we're gonna have like 30 podcasts about this game. We're gonna be podcasting. We'll get to the game eventually, right?
We're gonna be podcasting about this game for 10 years. I'm gonna pod about this
in my dreams.
I have dreamt about all of you guys, but fellas, I keep saying my favorite time. This is really it. How's it going?
Before we get into it, I want to say something.
Before we get into it,
there's no other people I'd rather do this with. This has been fantastic. ESPN formed before the playoffs.
We formed a super team.
Incredible ride. We did. The Bucks won a title after we formed the super team. I just want to say thank you to you guys for being the best people to work with ever.
It's been an electric run. It has been an electric run for the Bucks, and I feel like it's been great. It has been great working with you guys.
I appreciate that. This is I'm gonna cry minutes into the podcast. I've only stopped crying. But it is so great for us to sit here and do this because we've been doing this for like basically the whole time that Giannis and Khris have been doing it. So to actually get after the moment like this for the four of us to sit down and talk about it, it doesn't get better.
The way Giannis looked at Khris in the post-game interview when Malika asked him and they hugged it out and then they talked about how they've been wanting to do it. And then Giannis goes, like Coach Bud said, we got to go get another. Mike Budenholzer,
fuck
5
yeah,
years,
bud.
50 years, the rest of his life. Do a pop. I don't
Lifetime
care,
extension.
Bro. Lifetime.
Listen.
Run Team USA into the ground later. I don't care. He's staying.
Bud, in the biggest moment he's ever had.
With the ballsiest call he's ever made.
I'm talking about the interview, though. It's a big moment. He gets the interview. It's thrown to him. He's like, I'm going to talk about how great the guys are. But first, respect to Monty Williams and his staff. Yep. I was like, Bud, you beautiful man. You don't know how to be any other way.
Sun's out, Bud's out. You know what I mean?
He is a weirdo with crazy facial expressions and inexplicable decisions.
And he's an NBA champion.
And he's ours.
Exactly. He's our weirdo.
I've been making Bud faces the whole playoff run. It's part of my personality now. I've just embraced it. I do this at the grocery store. We'll have to put up the Zoom so people can see.
You will. You'll have to put up.
I'll have to put up this. The Zoom is going to go up on the YouTube. Subscribe, GSPN everywhere. But they did it. I mean, Jordan, I feel like you've been locked into the Bucks longer than any of us in a real sense. What were you thinking? When did you accept it? Because I was tweeting too early. Hold on until I think they were up 8 with like 20 seconds left, and I was like, oh,
we go play by play. Because there was a certain moment I was like,
I pulled the trigger.
My girlfriend can attest. I bothered her the whole game. I'm like, what the hell? They're gonna ruin this chance. I had to work Thursday. I want to watch them win the title.
If the parade is Thursday, you're sick. If the parade is Thursday, you're sick. I'm just saying.
Don't say it on the podcast.
We can't.
Do your employers listen?
Well, it's not the way you want to find out, though, is it?
Yeah. I think it was honestly, I was like confident after Giannis. He got the turnaround shot, and then they blew the board after the.
When
Jay Crowder came up with.
I wasn't
the Khris bucket. the Badger Mutual Insurance bucket. You know what I mean? And I was like, my watch. I'm just like, I can like ease. I was just tense the first 47 minutes of that game. I think you could just ease up. So yeah, I've seen some shit with Monte Ellis, Brandon
Some
Jennings.
gnarly shit, Jordan.
I know, exactly. I was gonna say, the first half performance reminded me of how Brandon Jennings like shooting efficiency when he actually played, and then they honored him. Well.
No.
He brought the energy back, you know.
Yes, he did. But
Bucks
yeah,
legend Brandon Jennings.
he's a legend. I will say,
anointed him.
He's a legend, but there were some tough times there as well.
Wasn't all double nickels back then, but
No, it was not.
Speaking of nickels,
First time back in Milwaukee in a while, and he goes to Casablanca.
Damn right.
I mean,
Casablanca is to Brandon Jennings what Joe Katz is to Latrell Sprewell.
The real ones. Adam, we'll tell you after the pod. We'll reconvene on the Zoom. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the current baddest motherfucker in the league. So this is something I said about Kawhi
Best player in the world.
After he won in 2019. GOAT, every best player, you can shelve that. You're the baddest motherfucker if you tear through a playoff run like Kawhi did in 2019, like Giannis did this year. His third 40-point or more performance of the finals. 50 points for Giannis. The first player to have, 45, 10, and 5 blocks since the last time the Bucks were in the finals, 1974. 50 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks, plus 10. 17 for 19 from free throw. I tweeted it as they were getting ready to do all the interviews. In addition to everything else that this means. And we're going to dig into that on this podcast. We're planning a whole series of podcasts. I don't want to go too far. We haven't confirmed that we're doing it. We're doing it player by player, what this means for everyone.
Oh, we're doing it.
We're doing it. But in addition to all of that, and there's a ton, this is a coronation for Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's no more what ifs. There's no more questions. There's no more doubts. People will have them. Doesn't matter. We've seen it. It's GOAT trajectory. He's not there, and I'm not here to argue about if he's top 20 yet. I don't care about that.
Doesn't matter. He's got
trajectory toward number 1 is what this was for Giannis.
Did any of you catch the end of the Giannis Thanasis live?
I've tapped out. It was pulling in my heart.
I don't know if I caught the tail end.
Yep.
NBA fucking champion. No one can take this away from me. They're Giannis's words.
It's
and
facts.
It's the truth. And no one can discredit him anymore. And one by one, you could just watch them all tumble down one by one, and everyone came to give him his flowers. You know,
they had no choice.
The people who've been there all along, and the CJ McCollums, they all lined up.
Fuck you, CJ McCollum.
And you said that, not me. I mean, I've been building up to that, but he is undeniable. 50 points.
Guys,
in the
Bucks
50-year
scored
wait.
105 points, and Giannis had 50 of them.
And he had to. He had to have all.
Every one of them was absolutely essential.
The guy, look, there's so much. We're going to be talking about this forever.
Yeah.
He made 17 of 19 free throws. Like 17 of 19 free throws. Think of how many times in the last 2 years we've all like had our head in our hands watching Giannis free throws. And he just comes to the biggest game of his life. He's like, yeah, I'm going to drop 50 and I'm going to go 17 and 19
That's
at the line.
Suspect shit. That's like him like walking like Kaiser Soze.
A buddy of mine said it to me. He said it's all been, building to this. He's been years missing those free throws for this moment.
The reverse Raptors
it's
is complete.
It is.
It is. It's the first 50-point closeout in the finals since Bob Pettit in 1958.
Over Milwaukee
before
Hawks.
anything mattered. What?
Hold on. Don't discredit Box like that. This is a special moment.
Okay. We're discrediting
history.
Bob Pettit. It's fine.
No,
it's fine.
No, he's up there.
1958. Who
They're on
gives
the
a
pedestal
shit?
together. Me.
Adam, we're not doing this right now.
Seven.
Box.
I think seven.
Box.
Is it 7 players to score 50 in a finals game ever? Or closeouts?
Yeah,
it has
sure.
to be
I think it
ever.
was.
It has to be ever. There's no way 6 people did it before fucking Bob Pettit. 1 of 7. The first player to do 2 MVPs, 1 DPOY, 1 ring, 1 finals MVP at that age ever. The only second to do all of those things, period, to Michael Jordan. And obviously, some of the stuff didn't exist.
A year before Jordan.
Some of the stuff didn't exist way back when. I get it. Kareem, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's GOAT trajectory. Like, we don't have to, duck and act like we're not thinking about it anymore. And there's a lot to be played. That's why I don't want to do the where is he now. I don't care where he is now. But the path forward is there to like Mount Rushmore, at least.
It's always been there. It's always been there. But this is obviously, this is about the people who doubt him and the people who just slandering him all throughout these playoffs, like with no justification, no logic. That's what this is about. Like, yeah, Giannis is on that kind of all-time trajectory. Honestly, I don't care about that right now. Like, I'll deal with that. If he wins another one next year, I'll be really excited. And if he goes again after that,
Coach Bud said so. So
that is the most immigrant thing I've ever heard in my entire life. By the way, it's incredible. It's incredible.
A little update: Giannis is at the podium and he's wearing the shirts that the Bucks made of I Heart Jim Paschke on it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Get well soon, Jim.
They did it for Jim.
He promised it. He promised he'd do it for Jim, and he did it for Jim.
He's taking Jim to Greece, man. Wow. No player scored more than 26 outside of Giannis. I saw people making the case that even if they blew it, he should still win Finals MVP. And I don't subscribe to that, but you can see the case.
There's no one else could come close to it. Like, it's really tough to reckon with that.
Frank Kaminsky, he was so good. I was so pissed off.
I know.
I got nervous because I'd fired off the tweets already, and I really started to get nervous.
Frank Kaminsky said, I can sense I have an opportunity to break Wisconsin sports fans' hearts one more time.
I thought he was sleeper agent. I guess Frank Kaminsky saw his moment and was like, they're about to win a championship. Is Frank Kaminsky a free agent this summer? Do we know?
I assume he always
is. We're not doing
No, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not. But I'm saying Frank Kaminsky.
Oh, okay.
He wants to have the conversation. He's like, gonna show these guys I'm good.
Frank Kaminsky gave Wisconsin the championship that he couldn't deliver a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas with the Franks. What?
And all throughout this, Robin Lopez is watching Paddington.
That was my greatest. That was the greatest.
Glorious.
I'm like going crazy, and I scroll through Twitter. And I was like, "Here's Rolo watching Paddington. That is the perfect. He does not like his brother at all.
Paddington rules. I mean,
bring it back. I don't even care. Bring it back.
Bring everyone who's ever been on the team back. 45-man roster next year.
Yeah, why not?
Who cares?
DJ Wilson, NBA champion. DJ Augustin, NBA champion.
Torrey Craig.
NBA champion.
Rodian's roots.
No.
Someone cut Jordan's mic. Cut Jordan's mic. Jordan, have you got
Axel Toupon, NBA champ?
Axel earned it. He was active for some of these finals.
I don't know what the bottle is.
Oh,
here it is.
Oh, you got the assist.
This is going on Zoom. I mean,
yeah, this is going on Zoom.
Jordan is a man prepared for this moment.
I was saving it for a special
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, yes. Eurostep. Oh, yeah, Eurostep Podcast Network on YouTube.
It's a Riesling.
Oh, it's okay.
It's a 2021.
How many are you bringing to the parade?
I don't know.
How many are for me?
Yeah, that's the real question. Khris Middleton's an NBA champion. 17 points, second on the team behind Giannis. Not his best game, but
PJ Tucker is an NBA champion, 0 points.
Jeff DeMarco Teague is an NBA champion.
Come on, it's Teague time.
It is.
I didn't see Teague in
Elijah Bryant is an NBA champion.
In 2 minutes, Teague earned this.
I'm going to say this because I feel he did not play well tonight. I'm happy that Pat Connaughton got a ring. Literally the worst game of
He
playoffs for
felt
him?
it. He felt it. He felt it hard. You could
He was
tell.
minus 21 tonight in 23 minutes.
God awful.
And it does not matter. Patrick Connaughton, you're an NBA champion.
Bringing the trophy home to
And
Ireland.
his jersey's going up.
I don't want to revisit the take after this game, but he was instrumental to this playoff run.
Honestly,
Yes,
this was a really difficult game for the take, though, because
It
people will look at how did it finish, and
Vi
It's fine.
Victus
Just
to the
we'll
winners go
we'll work through it another time. We'll work through it.
Hey, you know who's going to
he's under
it?
contract.
Okay,
he's got another year. He's got another
two
year
more.
to go
He's got
again.
2 more.
Yeah. This one might be the most underrated and underappreciated. Brook Lopez, NBA champion. And has worked his entire
Robert
career to get to
Lopez.
this.
Just
Sure.
hook
I'll
it to my
believe you.
veins. Brook Lopez, NBA champion.
Seriously, I will say this. Because we did our halftime show, and I was very, you know me, I'm very wishy-washy. When Brook threw down those the dunks, that was like when it was like, okay, we're kind of course correcting here.
He was here for this shit tonight. You could feel it. You could feel it. They didn't
Bryn
close with
Forbes,
him.
NBA champion.
Whatever. They didn't close with him. I thought it was the right decision to not, but in his minutes, and hey, a game that ends up close at the end, you blow a lead. Maybe they're down huge in the second quarter.
Oh,
if
yeah.
Brook's not that good in the first quarter. Brook shutting down DeAndre Ayton, bullying that man. I mean, it's championship stuff. If people are going to look at the fourth quarter, I get it. Brook, like the top 4 easily most important player in this run.
Didn't play fourth quarter at all, right?
I don't think so.
Like they won the fourth quarter by 7. He finished a +9, which is like he's right there with everyone else.
NBA stats
Yeah.
work.
Bobby Portis too.
Bobby Portis. We got to talk about fucking Bobby Portis.
Yeah,
Bobby Portis.
Brook Lopez played a minute in the fourth
He played 1 minute. Okay. Bobby Portis.
and 9 seconds.
The game of his and everyone else involved, except for, I guess, Jay Crowder's life. I felt like he brought it the whole game. Like, I didn't think there was a single moment where I was like, that was a bad decision. That was doing too much. Got way out of position there. He wasn't perfect, but I just felt like he was in gear. I mean, he plays almost the whole fourth quarter, nearly the whole fourth. Rohan, it's got to be at least 10 plus minutes, all the way to the end.
About Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby. Tremendous game. One of
He
the
plays
only
11
players.
minutes 3 seconds.
One of the only players to hit shots in the first half. He closes out the game.
He did almost kill me with the tech. That was the moment where I was like, my
It
heart
was a
can't take
bullshit
this.
tech. It was
Yeah,
a
that
bullshit
was-
tech.
that was-
He removed himself from the situation after a terrible call.
He was going down the sideline.
Ty,
like
there is
each
literally
guy or
no
DM.
need to be that annoyed about the call now.
No. There
I'm
is
still
a
annoyed
need
about it.
because it's
There's-
incredible.
home.
It's awesome.
They gave
good
him a
content.
tech for stretching out his knees like a responsible athlete and de-escalating the situation with the flopping Suns.
That's what Coach Sanders would do in his primetime days after getting an interception.
When Bobby blocked CP3 from going to bitch to Scott Foster, I knew it was going to be a legacy game.
Oh, great moment.
It was an all-time moment.
Then smiled at him.
You talk about, I think we all kind of, everyone, like, the blue collar quote about Milwaukee. It is what it is. He lived it when he was like, we are all sick of you complaining to these guys at every dead ball. Enough. Go talk to your team. Don't talk to Scott Foster. The fact that he didn't get a tech for that, I almost feel like they were going to give him one at some point because he probably should have gotten one for that. That was an incredible moment. And the crowd went crazy for Bobby. It turns out all year, all playoffs, it turns out the crowd was right. Bobby was awesome tonight.
I think the two just fuel each other throughout.
Yeah.
Like, I really, Bobby being as good as he is, like, I think the crowd have a lot to play in that. And vice versa, the Bucks having a crowd that was that kind of into it, that wild, like Bobby is part of the tank for that. Nobody has kind of worked that, got them invested, like beyond obviously Giannis, more than Bobby Portis, which is just amazing. And I'm gonna, again, I did it a few games. I'm gonna hold my hands up, Rohan, cold leader. I'll apologize directly to you, but Bobby, he came to shoot. He didn't always pull the trigger, but he stepped in. He made those mid-range shots. And in the game where, again, the Bucks just needed
every
point.
Every point.
This is, you tweeted a tie, and I was just, it's like,
made
just
fun of
keep
me, but-
scoring. No, I didn't make fun of you. You might have thought it, but I was just desperate for them to keep scoring. I was like clutching. I was like, Lawler's Law's coming up now, you know? And the Suns didn't even get to 100, so there it was. But yeah,
I don't know, Adam.
Bobby did
Bobby's been great this round, but how's he going to hold up in the next one? I don't know.
It's a good question.
Next round is the regular season.
How's he going to hold up then when he faces better?
It's a good question.
You guys want to read this? So we're getting quotes from Giannis as he's at the podium.
Yeah,
This is from Chris Herring. Giannis just said he easily could have joined a super team, done his part with other stars, and won that way. Says that's the easy way, then pounds table and says this was the hard way.
Let's fucking go. Oh my God.
That's like that's 5
Take
substance.
that, Bam Adebayo.
The Cancun-based Giannis stopper gets another one going his way from Jordan.
Like, seriously, for a second on that, like, obviously, it's been so long and it's been so grim that we would have taken a championship however it came. But how much more special is it to have that kind of guy? To have the Dirk, the Tim Duncan, the Kobe? You know, it means so much more. The Giannis. And people will be saying that forever now.
Yeah.
Like, he will be the example
Immortalized.
of one of those
He's
guys.
Immortalized.
It's incredible. It
That
really is.
performance.
It's so special.
But the Pelicans tweeted congrats to Jrue Holiday.
That
fair.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, he spent a lot of time there.
No, this
the
is
Sixers
awesome.
should too.
Again, according to Chris Herring, when I re-signed with the city of Milwaukee, that's the main reason I re-signed. I didn't want to let the people down.
Damn, he didn't. He sure didn't.
First year after signing, goes and wins the fucking
First
title.
year with Jrue. First year with Bobby. First year with PJ. PJ Tucker is an NBA champion after being
First year with Jeff Teague.
He was one of the first people.
First month with Elijah Bryant. He literally joined the last week of the season.
Talk your
It's
shit,
been more
Jordan.
than a
That's
month.
your guy. Champion him.
I will. From EuroLeague to the top of the league.
Oh, the Onion nailed it. Giannis criticized for poor footwork while hosting Finals MVP.
You know, I feel like their sports have been off base for a while. That is perfect from the Onion. I thought of PJ Tucker fairly early in the term of players I was happy for after they actually did it. He was so close so many times, so many heartbreaks on those Raptors teams as the LeBron stopper that couldn't get it done, obviously with the Rockets. Guy, talking about Elijah Bryant, a guy who was in EuroLeague. PJ Tucker has to go over there after he gets drafted to get back here. When he was reacting with his kids or I don't know how many kids he has, that was special. That was a special moment because you could see, even more than most of the other guys, he knew how agonizing it was to be trying for so long. That's the kind of thing, like, you know, the ring chasing vet, I feel like gets like joked about. But actually seeing one of those guys who's been trying for that long win one, it is special. It's kind of true for Lopez as well. He's been a lot of stops now, and
they're both close, though. It's like they know what age they are. You know, the clock is ticking, and like for PJ, that's very, very real.
To win one while you're still contributing at this level.
Yeah, you got to start. Like for the whole trajectory of his career. And for like the journey he's had, from all the stops he's had, from coming in Europe, from coming back and being like, just, you know, can you get some minutes off the bench? He just started on an NBA championship winning team. He shut down Kevin Durant in the previous round to help get them there. You know, that is just incredible. I agree. I thought that was really special. And he was one of the first guys. Him and Giannis, like, that was one of the first celebrations in game. We saw that where they were kind of like, okay,
they have a bond.
They have a bond, but like, I mean, I think all of those guys, the guys who play at least have a bond now and have a bond forever. And you could see how they played to begin with. Like, that's part of the reason they could just find a way to win. That's part of the reason we're sitting here now having this conversation.
And I think
we have more Giannis quotes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we get Giannis on? Can we just?
Yes.
Giannis, come on the podcast.
We're open.
I gave him my contact info.
Literally any time.
Yep. I was about to say my phone number. That was a bad idea.
Don't do that.
We will toss him
so
our
we got
iPhones.
Giannis.
There's some listeners who really love Rohan too, so be careful.
Rohan would have been better than Pat in this game. There is an outside chance at that. All right, what's the Giannis?
I'm gonna say this thing. So Giannis is just holding both trophies at the podium with his champion hat on. And he's saying, people told me I can't make free throws. I made my free throws tonight, and I'm a freaking champion.
Did he say
Love
freaking?
this guy.
Oh, Giannis. He was swearing on
That's
IG.
what the quote
Giannis,
says.
bring
I
that.
have no
energy
He
to
swore at the
the
podium too.
ABC are gonna get some fines.
Oh, yeah.
You know? There's gonna be some fines.
Giannis can
Hey,
cover.
man signed $230 million.
Yeah, he can cover.
Yeah,
he can cover.
it's true.
And you know, it's more special, I think, like we talked about the bond that the guys have. That comes from Giannis. And I think that is the underappreciated aspect of, you know, obviously he didn't leave. I think that's the most appreciative people are of his personality and what people think about. Like, he's still there. That's what matters. I think the culture they built, it's all because of Giannis. And like the fact that guys like Khris and Jrue had the starts they had, Khris just quiet, Jrue inefficient again. And they both had huge fourth quarter moments. And right away, when Khris got the mic, he's like, every time Khris gets the mic, he says this. But when they win the fucking championship, he also said, they believed in me. They believed in me to keep shooting, and I did. And he hit the biggest shot of his life. That is, you know, obviously credit to Khris for hitting it, but credit to the team because you can tell, like, nobody ever gives up on these guys. We write off guys fast. Pat had a terrible game. He had some huge second half moments. Didn't hit a shot, but the offensive rebound,
Exactly.
offensive foul on Booker, like, this is a Bud thing too. This is Bud and the culture of the team, but they trust guys because it's easy to say, don't play this guy, don't play that guy. You run out of guys eventually, and you put yourself in a bad situation.
Run out of guys in a hurry with a roster like this.
Especially on this team, yeah, after Dante goes out. Dante DiVincenzo, NBA champion. But the belief they have, like, it's not just a talking point, it's real. Like, you can see it in the made shots when Khris has 9 points at halftime or whatever. Like, it's inflappable, and that's how you win a championship, is that kind of belief in yourself as a team.
Yeah, we have the actual quote now from Giannis.
You go, Ron.
Yep. Giannis on staying in Milwaukee. I could have gone to a super team. I did it the hard way. I fucking did it. Love this guy. Continue.
Tattoo it on my forehead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, we've seen heartbreak in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Raptors 2 years ago. Last year, yeah, it's the circumstances that, you know, no one could have predicted, all that stuff. And the bubble was just absolutely terrible. And to come back from that and to make such a gamble with Jrue Holiday, everybody knew it was a gamble. It's already rewarded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Forever,
it's like a year later.
forever.
Exactly. The same thing with the Lakers. It's one of those things where if you make that big gamble or big bet that you're going to improve your team, make sure, I mean, obviously the Giannis angle, whether he was going to re-sign or not, that was always hanging from there. But like, whether you're comfortable with having Khris Middleton as your second option, Brook Lopez, like, it just goes on down. I mean, this, again, I cannot reiterate this enough. This team had the fourth highest turnover of any team this year.
They were so
and they
bad.
won a championship. That is unheard of. Unheard of. Like, I bet the Lakers is probably a little bit high too last year, just because of, you know, all the stuff that they went through. But like, that is crazy. It's just crazy.
And they honestly, like we talked about, they have just multiple guys who just like can't play. We're never going to play. It's like, you've got to fill your roster. Like, I won't name the names. We all know. I'm not looking to disrespect those guys, but it's just the reality of where they are at this point in their career. And, you know, it may be like close to some total of their NBA career, but they're going to have a ring for it. Like, it is crazy how this came together. And so much of it doesn't make sense, like, at all. The fact that this is a championship roster. I also just for you're saying it though, it's incredible. Like, when you talk about Khris as a second option, think of how many fucking times we've had the debate. We've had to listen to.
Is he good enough to be the second option on the title team?
Exactly. You know,
no.
We got our answer.
It's
we got our
fucking
answer.
Unimpeachable.
And you know, my favorite thing about that is the answer to that it won't for like the kind of idiots that, you know, will go a certain way in that. It should reframe how people talk about building an NBA champion in the future. It should reframe how people talk about building a team that can win at this level. Like the Bucks are the ultimate underdog, not just because it's the Bucks, not just because it's the city of Milwaukee, but because of look at where the guys came from. Yeah, of course, there is also that factor. But look at where they came from, look at where they were drafted. It all comes together in this roster that you're just like Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague is on this team and he's terrible now. He was so good for so long. He's terrible, but he's an NBA champion. You know, he's got his championship. Pat Connaughton for all the playoffs. Like, just think of Pat Connaughton like a year ago when the Bucks signed him, where we all were on it. It's incredible. I can't believe it. We all kind of have a normal, cool conversation for a few minutes, and I stop and think about this shit, and it is absolutely insane. They're the champions.
The Bucks in the first year
wants Brandon Jennings to get his ring.
I'm gonna say no. The Bucks in the first year of Khris and Giannis, 2013-14, 15-67. They won more games this postseason than they did in 82 games with those guys their first year. I think the two lowest rated players on 2K that year, at least on the Bucks, two of the worst players in the league on 2K, whatever the 13.
The two worst. I saw this tweeted the other day.
I mean, the fact that those two guys have been from then until now, 8 years later, 8 years later, they went from literally the lowest of the low to winning a championship together. And you could see, like, we've talked about it 1,000 times. We'll talk about it 1,000 more times. But just the interaction with those two, Khris not giving up the trophy, like, it was everything to them. And you could see, like, it's not just us talk, oh, Giannis and Khris, it's great, it's special. Like, it is, it just is. It's not something we think about. This is not shipped. This is like, it's to them too. Like, they know they're on the same
look, it
page.
is. You heard how Rohan started his podcast off with a very, very wholesome message. That's it. Like, it's if you're doing something, you're going and doing it every day, and they've been through something a lot more than we have. But it's like, yeah, you grow a fondness and attachment. Like, that was on the court. That was the only time Giannis welled up. When he started to talk about Khris, you could really see the emotion coming. And for two guys, as we talked about before, it's like they're not best friends or anything, but my God, do they work great together as teammates? And it's just developed into this perfect partnership, and hopefully will be for many more years to come.
We had a question in the post game on YouTube. Would you trade basically?
Pre-game?
Oh yeah, what did I say? Post game? Sorry, pre-game on YouTube.
Confusing me, Ty.
The Snoop Dogg gin is kicking in.
It's like, are we live right now?
The pre-game on YouTube.
I'd like to know if that's the case.
Yeah. Somebody said Dame forces his way out. Dame for Jrue and Khris. Fuck no. Khris and Giannis on the roster forever. I don't care anymore. I don't care about the superstar trades. Keep them.
That Giannis quote.
Even if there's
does Giannis want people who are forcing their way out like that?
No, he doesn't.
I wouldn't say no.
No, neither would I.
Generally, to come for a vet man.
Yeah, sure. If he wants to find a way on the
impossible,
roster, if he wants to pull a Vic Oladipo and prostrate himself to the ball,
he's going to be on the team.
Let me check Vic's Instagram. He's got to be.
He's got it. Oh my God!
Has anyone checked that? He's got to be watching.
I haven't checked it yet.
He's got to be putting up like taxpayer MLE.
Study hall. Study hall.
Did he put that really?
Yeah, study hall. And it's of course it's on a Bucks possession. He's watching. I mean,
he's texting Giannis. You up? You busy? I heard what you did for Bobby, and I'm interested.
I was gonna say, I think he's staying at the next. He's next door to Thanasis.
Can we talk through the wall about some things? Can I go to Greece?
He's gonna take Thanasis' spot in the parade, right? He's just gonna I hear there's a spot on the bus now.
What if he might show up at the parade?
Like, the season's over. It's not tampering anymore, right?
He's a free agent. He's free to do what he wants.
He's gonna go to the parade to study. That's all to study.
No, yeah, but the point I would not.
There's got to
I'm
be
not,
a parade, guys. Like, I
There's
am
gonna
not
be
in
a
the city.
parade.
That breaks my heart right now. But there's got to be. Jordan, how many jokes have we made about parades over the years on the podcast?
I think I threw out doing a parade after that Grizzlies win when John Henson got ejected.
Yeah, that was like a championship.
I sincerely wanted to do a parade. It was.
That was incredible. And at that time, like John Henson getting ejected, like for fighting Matt Barnes.
And
does it get any better than that? And the answer is yes, it does.
It
turns out it does. Yes, it does. And the first parade in the Bucks history, even despite having won a title previously.
They never
I
had
demand
one.
them. I want to see Johnny Mac.
They gotta be there.
They are so bad. That was every time they ask about it, he always manages to bring it up. He's so bitter about it. You know he is. He's like, we did all the good work. We just mowed through all these teams, and they didn't get a parade after it. Come on.
Like, let's have 2 parades. If we space them out enough, maybe we can get Adam to the second one.
Ring night. I'm gonna make ring night my business.
There we go.
I didn't even think about ring night. Is that when they hoist the banner?
Oh, they're gonna get rings.
Yes, it is. Yes, they are.
When do we get ours? Has anyone been in contact?
I'm coming for ring night. I know some people. I'm gonna reach out.
Yeah, you got it. Jordan's ring is going around the spinner. Jrue Holiday.
Ring when I was in India once.
Wait, for what?
That's weird. That's a long story.
Like, okay.
Is the story worth telling, or should we move on swiftly?
I don't think he's gonna want to. It doesn't seem like he wants to.
It's not. No, wait, no. Not that type of ring. Not that type of ring. Let's just go.
No one thought that. Okay, let's continue.
All right. Jrue Holiday is an NBA champion now.
Rohan Katti had it again.
Yeah. Some of those memes he tweets. Jrue Holiday though, NBA champion. Jrue has frustrated the hell out of Bucks fans this run. The defense never wavered. The assists 11 assists in this game when offense was so hard to come by. Some beautiful through the paint passes, some bad ones, but some beautiful ones.
He made some second half layups too.
He did. That's what that's what we begged for. Some layups.
That 3-2 that Giannis team triple team. I think they took the lead, right?
I think
somewhere around there. I might be mixing it up. Sorry.
The shot clock expiring 3. Yes. I don't remember if they took the lead, but I remember thinking like that is one of the biggest shots of this game because the Bucks made 6 threes in this game. This was the most Bucks shooting game imaginable. 6 threes. Jrue and Giannis made half of them. Bobby Portis made 2. Khris made 1. That is all of the shots made from deep by the Bucks in this game, of course. They won by being big. Shout out to the big guys, of course. But Jrue Holiday, I mean, not the most consistent offensive player, but the story of the Bucks this run, they did enough. He did enough.
Can I do a random shout out? Because I've just seen something on Twitter here, and I'm gonna forget it otherwise.
Yeah.
It would be really wrong if we all forgot this. Shout out to Herb Cole.
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna mention that.
I don't know what this deal is. I don't know what his health is. And
he was there.
Was he there? That's what I was gonna ask.
He was at the game.
Nice, good.
Because that whole moment and that really like hit me in the chest and struck me when Adam Silver is there in the arena that is, built at gunpoint essentially.
Yeah.
And it's built for Giannis, and he's like congratulating the new owners. By the way, I mean the fucking handing the trophy to the owners.
I hate it.
That shit has got to go.
I hate it.
I saw some people tweet this too, like people from my side of the world being like, what is going on? It happens every year. But it's the fact it was handed to Lasry, he handed it to Edens, and then they're all like,
there's like 10 of them.
Peter Fagan was putting his hand up. It's like, I respect like all of the stuff all of you've done. This is part of it. There's like, what's on the roster? 17 guys with 2 ways. 17 guys who've been going through it to get this all year. Maybe turn around and give it to Giannis or give it to Khris or give it to Bud.
Giannis has to touch it.
Get it over there. But sidetrack.
Yeah.
Like it's their moment too. I don't have a problem with that. The Bucks, to the point of Herb Cole, the same applies to them. Without those people, the Bucks aren't the Bucks anymore.
Shout out to Paul Henning in the building too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fans made it happen. Shout out to
awesome.
Bucks fans for that. He deserved to be there.
You remember that, Ty? We covered that. We
Yeah.
covered Save Our Bucks. We covered the time like right around. I remember that was like something of like my baptism in Wisconsin politics and stuff, which I've over the years since I've come to know way too much about and learn way too many names. But that was the start of it, and all of that was so serious. Like that's the thing for people who maybe. Look, I'm sure there's some bandwagon fans, you know, to some extent or another.
Fine. Subscribe,
it is
rate,
fine.
review, stick around.
But it's also like this is
5
something
stars.
that should birth a whole generation of fans. People who are kind of interested, and now they're like,
oh yeah,
you know, my city has a champion kind of thing, and that can only be good for the Bucks going forward. But things where if you don't know, if you are somehow someone who's really new to the Bucks, or if you've just kind of forgotten, or your mind was somewhere. Things are bad and things are really, really dicey. And if that went another way, the Bucks could have been somewhere else. But the deal that Herb Cole put together to sell it to the current ownership group, the money he gave towards the new arena, like you look at the arena, like just this crown jewel in the city of Milwaukee tonight with 65,000 absolutely crazy people outside. I cannot tell you. Milwaukee, you are
They're
amazing.
still honking, by the way.
As they should be. They should be honking for days. But that is so cool. It's incredible. And I say that as someone who has never been there, but I have watched over the years where no one was at any of these things. No one was at any of these things. Like where things were really grim and, you know, the building was falling apart. To get from there to this point and for everyone to be like, you know what? This is our team. We're going to turn up. All respect to everyone. All of you fine Wisconsinites and the people in Milwaukee.
There was a very famous post on Bucks Reddit trying to convince Dwight Howard to come to Milwaukee and like selling the Bradley Center and everything. To think about how far we've come.
Was this at the time when the trade rumors came up?
Gus Johnson talked to Dwight Howard himself about
yes, thank you.
No, I think it was before. No, this was like Dwight Mayer. Like Dwight leaving the Lakers like way back.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was the Bucks. It was one of the few times anyone nationally cared about the Bucks that year.
I think it was after it was when he left LA to go to Houston.
Yes, it was that offseason. And then
Giannis is FaceTiming with Paschke, by the way.
There we go.
Fuck yeah. That's so cool.
I love you, Mr. Jam.
Mask up, get vaccinated. Jim Paschke and Thanasis Antetokounmpo should be there. Let's get this thing under control. For real. Like, come on, folks. But yeah, Dwight Howard, we were trying to beg Dwight Howard to come play in a windowless building that looked like a jail. And now there's 100,000 people around Fiserv Forum celebrating Giannis's first championship at age. I'm 26 too. Pretty underutilized comparatively, but
what? That you're the same age as Giannis?
Yeah, like it kind of hurts seeing all these things.
Why would we be talking about that?
No, I'm not saying we should be talking about it. I'm saying, like, I feel like,
but you're talking about it.
Big time ties here, like 2 MVPs. Well, I've had 2 podcasts.
I've had more than 2, but 0 MVPs on them.
That's true. Okay, you're the same age as Giannis.
It's tough to be 26 and see all the things that Giannis has done, is what I meant. But
Ty, let me tell you, it's tougher to be 29 and see all the things that Giannis has done. But yeah, I get your point.
Must be rough.
Yeah, whatever, Rohan.
You got the future all ahead of you, Rohan.
I don't even know. They won a championship.
They did.
Yeah.
There are these, we never have dead air like this. This has happened multiple times, and I love it because every time it's happened, I'm just like, we're all speechless. We're doing our best, but this is wild. This is completely, crazy. We've done a lot of podcasts,
Let me ask this.
Go on.
Did you guys ever actually expect this to happen?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
As in, do you mean like in the last week or today, or do you just mean in a more general sense?
Before this year.
Like before this year. Yeah. Before they were right there, I would say sort of, but like I remember when they won the conference finals, I was like, we should really celebrate how great it is to make it to a finals, because who knows what's gonna happen then. Adam's got the shirt.
Got a final shirt and a hat, and it's like, am I ever gonna wear that shit again? Because I'm about to buy a champions one, like, you know. But it was that thing of, this is a big deal, and that is a big achievement. So better enjoy that when that comes around, because you don't know what'll happen again.
47 years and now 50 years.
I mean, in the last couple of years, I thought they were good enough to get close, but there's getting close.
That's
like
different,
we saw them get close, and then there's actually getting over the line, and all of the things. Like, I'd be a liar if I said otherwise. I think a lot of Bucks fans will definitely say otherwise. But to say that we knew, you know, that in a closeout game, Giannis was going to go and drop 50 and have 14 rebounds and 5 blocks. It's like, no, we didn't. We didn't know that Khris Middleton was going to do all that he did during this run. You know, for as much as I think all Bucks fans believe in those guys and really, really love them and think they're great, there's still a difference to this. Like, there's levels to this. And it's just a case of, until you see your team go and do it, it's like, how can you believe it? And we've found ourselves in that spot where it's like, you know, do it and then we'll believe it. And we'll never stop believing it, and we'll become completely insufferable, I'm sure, as a result. But they did it. And that was the title of, you would have titled the tie of our Game 7 post-game podcast against the Nets, was they did it, because that's how we felt.
Oh God, I have to title this.
We worked that one out, but that's how we felt. It's like, okay, they've broken through, and we all knew. Like I said this on our last post-game, but I'll of all the podcasts we've done during this run, the one that I'll remember is that one, I think, because, you know, some of us are more optimistic than others. Some sit in the fence. We all got on that Zoom call that night, and it was like, this is happening. You know,
it's like,
this team is different. This isn't like what we were thinking. This isn't what we've seen before. This is just something entirely different and could be the beginning of something special.
It's like how, I mean, not to bring up old wounds, but it feels very Raptors like 2 years ago. You make the big bet. Obviously, Jrue is, you know, staying. It's not like Kawhi, you know, he's already gone a year later.
Take that, Raptors fans. Our guy stayed.
Did you say Jrue is staying?
Well, no, I'm saying like the kind of comparing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did.
But
yeah.
it's Game 7.
Everyone
the shots, getting past the Sixers, and kind of doing this. They were a very good team that year, but like this kind of like, it's always like kind of teetering, and then they figure it out. And that's been every freaking series, save for the Miami series this year, where you're just like, it's 0-2 against Brooklyn. Kevin Durant's really good. They have to deal with him for a playoff series. Hawks, you lose Giannis. Trae Young was doing pretty well until he got hurt, like all that stuff. And then, you know, this series where, I mean, I can't say enough about the Suns. Like, as much as it got to be really annoyed, you know, like watching Chris Paul or Jay Crowder doing all that stuff, Devin Booker, like the little things that you get annoyed with during a game, they were just relentless as hell. Like, the Bucks still had to work for every inch, every point, every basket, everything tonight. And I just see a lot of their journey. I mean, speaking personally, I put all my eggs in 2019 thinking that they were going to win that year.
That was the year.
So it felt like everything come together. Like, it wasn't just Bud. It just, everything fell into place. George Hill was like a man on fire.
George Mountain,
exactly. And it gets dashed so quickly. So when you go through that, and then last year being what it was, and just, again, the weirdness of it all, you contemplate, when can that moment happen? And then to have it like this, where
when you least expect it, is that the answer? I mean, it's not quite when you least expect it, but it's.
But there is something I think we talked about on our mailbag episode late last week, where it's like, there is something to, you got to go through all this shit.
Yes,
it happens. It's, you know, again, it's not like the Bucks. It's a different league back then, 50 years ago, where Kareem, they trade for Oscar, all that stuff, and they just mow through everybody. That's not what happens. It's like the bad boys where bad boy Pistons, and that we kind of like always like look towards of like they built it continuously. They kind of make steps that get you further and further, and you may not get to the mountaintop of 1 year, but the next year they reload for it and all that stuff, and you just kind of like hold on to it. There is something to just, it's the equity of going through those experiences that, as much as it was like helter skelter tonight and throughout multiple moments throughout this playoff run, they came through on the other side and they found ways to win. It was not always pretty. It was not always.
It was mostly ugly.
It was mostly ugly, even tonight.
And who cares?
Until the final buzzer, it was. Monty Williams said the same thing. I caught some of his presser. That's what my feed went to. And he said you could tell they had been in these situations more. And outside of Chris Paul, of course. But the team had been in and that's something we talked about early in the series, is like that might be what it comes down to, is the Suns are great. One of the all-time great shot-making teams. And that's so tough for the Bucks, because I feel like a lot of the Bucks defense is like, unless you're an elite shot maker, good luck. The Suns were the whole damn series. They were incredible at making shots. Booker and CP swapped off being unbelievable shot makers. It still wasn't enough. The math worked out for Bud and the Bucks, but the Bucks had been in those moments, and it's 2019, 2020, before that, but mainly 2019, 2020, and this very year, where you talk about a playoff run. I mean, 4 great teams. The Heat got swept. The less than a year before, they were in the finals, and Jimmy was going toe for toe with LeBron.
The fake finals, but yeah.
Sure, went toe for toe with LeBron.
We can do that now. Those finals were
also,
fake as shit.
I want to say that,
asterisk championship last year.
It helps us if they were real, though, because then we beat the Heat, who were right there. So
don't care. We won this one. But to be serious, we talked about this privately earlier. I've noticed recent days Suns fans doing I just don't believe this team is going to lose 4 games in a row for the first time this season. And it's like,
tough, right?
We've literally been there. But that was something that every time I see it, I believe more, because I'm like, yeah, this team has 2 years on from that. And the key guys on this team and the coaching staff have 2 years of pain from that. We all certainly bear the scars of that experience, but it's like you get there, and I've no doubt, and Giannis said it. He said it in his press conference yesterday. He was talking about, that experience, and he said he always put himself in this situation of, how did the other team do that? How did they go, and how did they win 4 games in a row? And he was talking about the Raptors without naming them, which I'm fully in favor of. We should try to minimize how often we name them, particularly now.
Unless we're laughing at them.
Yeah, particularly now. But
congrats on the lotto luck, fellas.
My time to shine.
But it's it does take that time, and I think particularly when you're building something, and the thing that the Bucks have in their favor is their superstars only Ty Windish's age, and that means
that's how people refer to 26. Actually,
there's room for a lot more here, and that doesn't mean that there will be. Like, I mean, we can get all kind of excited and talk it up. No, I think it's really important right now, really important to be like, this team definitely could go and do it again, but this also might be it. And you know what? If this is it, this is it. Exactly. Like, it's about, not to sound like Giannis here, but it's about enjoying the moment. Like, they've finally done it. The Bucks have finally done this. So this is it's gonna carry us all for quite some time. But knowing the personality of Giannis, the personality of lots of players in this team, it's not a case of like they're going to rest in their laurels. I'd bet on, if anything, that Giannis comes back next year and we're like, oh, he shoots 38% from 3 now? How did that happen?
It's going to be fucking annoying when he's like, don't call me a champion until I do it again. Come on, Giannis. Can we enjoy this one, please? Can we say MVP now?
I don't know if he'll do that now. I'll be curious to see.
I don't know. He was already kind of hinting at it.
Was he? Okay. He should give himself. He should give himself the moment.
Thank Larry Jrue in his.
He should.
He should.
And
he
Jason.
should.
Larry Jrue was done dirty by this organization.
He was done dirty, but he also gave him an opportunity to play when everybody thought he was a D-League player at the time.
This is full transparency here, right? This is what happens when you're in a championship. So, as longtime listeners will know, as people who follow me and whatever, I came to the NBA through watching the Atlanta Hawks. I came to the NBA through watching Larry Jrue teams. I remember firing off some tweets when the Jason Kidd hire went down and Larry Jrue was stabbed in the back like that. And that was one of the first things I did. And I was like, oh, I run a book site now. I went and deleted some Larry Jrue tweets. So if Giannis wants to thank Larry Jrue, I'm all for it. Thank you, Larry Jrue.
PJ Tucker beat the rest of the 20.
Was anyone expecting that moment on this podcast? Me thanking Larry Jrue?
I expected to have no expectations. PJ Tucker beat the rest of the 2018 Rockets starting five in this playoff run. That's special.
One by one. Some Kill Bill shit.
Jordan, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say something about bring up the fake finals last year. But seriously, the fact that we've seen this run happen and things kind of are resembling some normalcy. In some ways, I know that, it's kind of good.
Everyone has decided that they're going to resemble normalcy.
Yeah, that's more of what it is. But it's still one of those things where, given how I know they were lost 3 out of their last 4 when COVID hit last year, but they were still the best team in the league by a decent margin. I think the Lakers weren't that far behind. The fact that this was enjoyed in the manner that was, where you can go to the games, you can go to the Deer District, everything, the vision of back to Herb Cole and the new ownership change and all that stuff. I know it's stupid stuff, but what they envisioned to keep the team in the Milwaukee and to enjoy what this playoff run could be and what, no one anticipated playing an NBA Finals in July, but to see that vision come to fruition and Milwaukee come out, especially tonight, where it was not 65,000 people. It was way more than that. That's such a lie. But all that stuff and just see come to fruition and then win a championship at Fiserv at their home floor in front of all the fans. That is a dream come true. It honestly is.
It's the literal fairy tale. You cannot write the story of this Bucks team from Giannis to where they came from as an organization to get to this point. And it feels like a long road, and it's been a long road in terms of that change. Mostly feels long because we've kind of charted all of it collectively, but in the bigger picture, it's not, They, between getting Giannis and everything that's happened with the arena, this is an all-time turnaround. This is the kind of thing that owners around the league will just be so jealous of and being we wish you could do that, but it doesn't happen. You could do everything right and still not get this, which is also, it's always the point of a championship. It's only one team gets this. I feel just so many times over the years I've written that or said that in the podcast. It's the way people react, it comes down to it. Only one team can win this. The margins in the NBA with 7-game series, and to come down to that, it's so grueling. The challenges you got to go through to get there. They won more games to win this championship in this postseason than they won in the Larry Jrue season. They officially tonight surpassed the win total of that entire season to get it done with Brandon Jennings in attendance. It's incredible. The whole thing is it's fairy tale.
Fucking Brandon Jennings, man.
I will all credit to Brandon Jennings for getting hyped up and getting people, as I noticed him in the fourth.
He was coaching on the sidelines.
When the game was getting tense though, and the crowd got a little bit quieter. I can't remember who scored, but the Bucks came up with a bucket and he was going crazy. He was up on his feet and everyone was falling in line with that then. So massive respect to that one for, the guy just caring that much about seeing the Bucks winning. There is undoubtedly some self-interest in it because this is definitely good for the brand. It's not the only brand it's good for. Hey, Jordan. But respect to Brandon Jennings. It's a good time for anything, Bucks and 6, winning 6.
Brook Lopez is currently doing snow angels in the confetti.
Fuck yeah, he
So
is.
that's fun.
I love Brook. I don't know if you know that, but I love Brook.
Are they going to release the finals patch jerseys? Is it only game worn? Do they sell them? Like, I need one of those.
You ask me like I know.
Yeah, this might be the wrong place
Yeah,
to,
it's fair.
get you an email address or something, and you can ask the question.
If someone knows, hit me up.
There will probably be one. I don't know.
I think there's going to be a lot of merch.
Yeah.
Once
we get off this
statement is in danger.
Once we get
I might
off
actually
this
buy some
call,
Bucks gear.
I'm at risk. I got this Giannis jersey within like the last week or so.
I got my finals Irish rainbow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Broke it out.
I wouldn't dare to mention the amount of money I spent on Bucks gear recently. That is still not. Jordan actually knows. Jordan has an idea. Whereas like, no, I can't do it. And then the next day I was like, I did it. But that hasn't even reached me yet. And yeah, there's going to be more.
They scored 13 points in a quarter in the game where they clinched the NBA championship.
Oh my God. That second quarter.
We did the Twitter space, and I was the only one who was like, I think they're going to do it. Everyone else,
you're holding strong.
I said it too.
Ty being like, Adam, you sound really, really calm, right? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not calm, Ty. How could I possibly be calm after that quarter? Of all the times for us to start and be like, let's do
our first Twitter space. There'll probably be more, but hey, you know why I was calm? Do you know why I was calm?
You trust the Bucks.
I trust Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's
the comfort level. Having that guy on your team. That's the reason you talk about how hard it is to repeat. And I agree. And how much we should savor this championship. A championship in Milwaukee for the first time in 50 years. I agree. The reason I think this will not be the last is Giannis. This isn't.
I don't have a problem with
this
that.
This isn't whatever. And again, I'll be happy with this. I'm not sitting here. I need more now, but this is the level of player where you get more than one.
Ty, as lots of people I saw saying before the game, and it was before the game, so before he went and had this performance to close it out, it was like Giannis is about to be the second greatest power forward ever, and he
hard
is.
To argue.
He is. There's only Tim Duncan like in the realm for that position. And I don't disagree. I just think you gotta savor it. You don't.
Oh yeah.
He could have torn his cruciate ligaments like a month ago. This could have been, he's out for a year.
People were proposing 21-22 tank strategy.
I wasn't proposing, but as I admitted, I know, yeah. But as I admitted, like I did have that thought. I don't know who maybe didn't have that thought in that like 24 hours or so. That was one, terrifying. Two, it is insane. The guy just scored 50 points to close out a championship.
He hurt his back.
A series after that.
It didn't matter.
And he reamed out Bobby after that too.
Guys, there's so many t-shirts already. It's ridiculous.
Hey guys, you want to celebrate something else too? The Bucks since they won the title, they are now a tax team.
Oh yeah, Jrue Holiday, the bonus.
Oh yeah, we did that whole podcast. I think it was worth it.
There's an NBA Jam t-shirt here with Giannis and Khris with the Larry O'Brien trophy in between them.
Send me that link.
It's the good stuff.
Send me that link. Yeah, we're in danger. The credit card statement. I need everyone send this podcast to 5 more people. We're gonna need more.
Yeah, we need your listens.
We need a little bit more ad revenue to keep up with everything that's gonna happen. All the transactions. There's a lot going on.
Listen multiple times, right?
Multiple platforms. Yeah. Multiple IP addresses if you have the technology. Yeah, I don't know. 7 guys, basically. At the end of the day, 7 guys in Bud. Giannis, Khris, Jrue, Brook, PJ, Bobby, and Pat. Just imagine, like, at the end of the offseason, if I told you that crew of 7 got through Kevin Durant and the Nets, the upstart Hawks who beat the brakes off the pathetic Sixers, and the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals. That's just, it's impossible to think about. Like, the 2 bench players on the run were Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton, and they're NBA champions. And I mean, it's funny, those names a year ago, again, people did laugh, but it's part of the Bucks thing. Like, they believe in their guys, and they got it done. Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton, the bench cogs of a championship team.
I mean,
it's beautiful.
it's
I
not
hope
even
the
just
Bucks
that.
Can
for
we
a long
raise
time.
Bobby's jersey too?
Yes.
He's got a better chance
Yes.
than Pat.
Yes.
I will also throw this out. John Horst, a GM for a championship team.
Yes.
4 years ago, everybody was like, "Who the hell is John Horst?"
Guy gets
I
paid
mean,
a
that
bag of
was-
chips.
The
That's
Bucks
a-
were like, "Who the hell is John Horst?" But
Yes,
we
that
can pay
was
him a
also-
bag of chips, and he's
That
fine.
was also a fair question, but like, it's literally there's so many. I mean, it's gonna be crazy to retell this story, and it's that do the timeline of like all these events that have happened, and how everything eventually fell into place with that we could celebrate that they are a championship winning team. But like
Justin Zanuck, Arturas Karnisovas.
Oh my god!
All of the
well,
fun-
even I will even throw this out. I know Monty, like he did his moment with the Bucks. He was a guy that they looked
the
at during the
mix.
coaches. Yes,
in the
Toro
mix.
Messina, Becky Hammond. Like there's so many different ways all this could have gone, and we quibble about like getting short at the finish line in the last couple of years, and it was obviously real, but it didn't go for nothing. We saw how this team regrouped, and they obviously had to make changes. The 4th highest turnover of any team this season. And I mean, even think about the turnover from the people that they brought in going into the season too. And this is where we are. We're at the bottom top. We have climbed Mount Everest like Mike Posner.
That's the thing too. I'm honestly finding really surreal and hard to compute now, where it's gonna take some time. Is you look through the history books, right? You look through the NBA history books, you see championship winning rosters, and you see names on it, and you're like, yeah, these guys won the championship. These guys are legends, and it's like the Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis of all of that, the Bud winning it, the John Horst. It's like seeing just the narrative change forever before your eyes. Like it never will fully go back to what it was. Like none of these players, I'm not saying none of them will be doubted again. They will. Everyone has their individual doubters out there, but it's the idea of the whole thing comes together and everyone's golden. And I know this is something that there's going to be some angry Bucks fans out there who don't enjoy their life. Who are going to have some difficulty with the idea of none of this is perfect. The players aren't perfect. The coach isn't perfect. The GM and the owners, my God, they're not perfect. But they don't have to be. They just had to get the job done, and they got the job done. And like it's amazing. This is forever. Like the banner is gonna hang. This is forever.
I'm gonna be 80 years old and talking about this team. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like,
what's
you should have saw Bobby Portis in that closeout finals game.
You're gonna talk about the weirder teams first, though.
That's true. Jeff Adrian, Chris White.
I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about the Thanasis point guard game against the Knicks first, but that's just me.
Damn right.
But this is it's the band of misfit toys.
The island.
Realistically, this team.
Island of misfit
Island?
toys.
Is
Yeah.
that what it's called?
Greece is an island, correct? Or Crete?
Crete.
Yes, Jordan. Yes.
Mykonos.
Not a geography podcast.
Yeah, no.
Mykonos is an island that Giannis
Hey,
maybe.
I'll say I won
maybe
my
bringing some
geography
books
bee in
too soon.
elementary school. So
Great.
we could turn this into geography.
Ring for you too.
I'll take it, honestly. But this is the island of misfit toys. Like, Giannis wasn't meant to be here at all. We all know his story. PJ Tucker is just this guy who's just been trying so hard to get on title team. Brook Lopez is the franchise leading scorer for a team he was on 2 teams ago and signed for the freaking MLE or the biannual, whatever it was, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like Khris Middleton's a 2nd-round pick who was in the G League, traded as part of a Brandon Jennings trade. Like Bobby Portis like punched his teammate to Spain. Like
hell yeah, he did.
Connaughton,
He could stay there.
Brandon
Pat
Jennings is
Connaughton
in the
wanted to
locker
play-
room celebrating, by the way.
What?
Brandon Jennings is in the locker room celebrating with the
He
cigar.
played.
And I cannot blame him.
He played at Giannis and Khris, you know.
Yes, he did.
It's not too long
He's
ago.
also
We all pretend that didn't happen, but
I know we talk about Bucks and 6, but he's also in a very weird way the reason why this has all come together because he was in that trade with Chris.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon
Yeah,
Knight
but
too.
yeah,
Another
like,
Brandon.
Yes, exactly.
that's
Pat
a
Connaughton wanted to play baseball.
that's a Pandora's box that we didn't need
Eric
to
Bledsoe.
go to this episode. Eric Bledsoe, like you guys touched on this on your mailbag. We all give Eric Bledsoe a really hard time. He was really good for the team. He brought them a lot closer to this. They were never good enough with him to get to this point, but not in the way that he will.
They would have been
be
so much
celebrating.
worse
But
off
they
without him.
they got here. They got Jrue by
Yes.
using Bledsoe. It's like eventually all those things they pay off. Not in the way that those guys. Moose, I was just about to say,
Greg
Moose
Monroe.
tweeting tonight, like that's such a big
Revis
moment.
Vasquez. Right?
Yes,
God,
yes,
Friend of the show, Johnny O'Brien.
yeah.
Yes.
JOB.
There for some of the deep Chris Giannis years. I still can't
It's the
believe it.
dead air again.
Yeah,
I love it.
There's
It's
a lot
it's
to
just
think about.
it's the sound of when you're comfortable in someone's company and you don't have to say anything. Because you're just you're content. We're content for the first time in like I don't know 7 fucking years.
A
you know,
lifetime.
We can talk about.
Yeah.
I'm talking like in the the recording
current era.
podcasts and stuff like that. We can just be like, yeah, things are good at the Bucks.
Bobby Portis was
How
the
long has
5th
it been
leading
since we've been doing
scorer
this?
in a finals game.
It started. Did we start 15, 16?
Start of
I started
2015 is when I started. A tie was like 3 days later. Jordan about a couple
March
of
I
months
started
later.
15, 16 season.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
So
right.
we all started the same season?
No.
No, you
I
started.
think you started
the-
16, 17.
You started early the next. Well, we started 2014-15 season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started 15, 16.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just a year late to the party.
You
It's
are,
been a
but
while though.
better a year late than being, not here now.
We're taking all
No,
Bucks
what
fans.
the point
at
I'm
this
trying to
point.
make here is
Jordan, have you got an
we've been-
article to
we've
write?
been
How's
doing
that
this for a
go?
while.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up late, very late.
It's just gonna be like champions, and then
Yeah, it's gonna
Press-
be people that doubted them.
I feel
don't know.
like did Jordan
the
pull a-
list.
Fuck you, James Harden.
I feel like Jordan pulled a Marv. Jordan was like, "I'm done," and the next game he was back. They wheeled him back out. Another article to do. That's the only way Jordan has pulled him
let's
off.
move it
That's
along.
That's
Let's
the
move it along
only-
for Jordan here.
Sorry, Jordan.
That's okay.
I just added the champions hat to my basket here, and it flashed up all the stuff that I hadn't removed from my basket before, and my eyes nearly just like popped out of my head.
There's going to be a lot of purchasing to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I have left. I mean,
I
we
don't
did it.
think we've got anything else. I mean, we're gonna be.
Yeah, there's gonna be more. There's gonna be a lot more. That's the thing. Like, in addition to like the draft is very close. I don't know. I mean, Cade seems.
I
good.
thought the season was ending, right? I thought at the NBA's full
The league. This is you
Yeah,
keep saying this.
Yeah,
The season definitely ended.
Yeah, the season.
yeah, the
did
season
end
ended,
tonight.
but the NBA was like, yeah, the Bucks are the champions forever. That's what I heard. I don't
They
know.
are.
Adam Silver told me.
and we will act that way. But there's gonna be more. We're gonna look back at the championship run a lot. We're going to get ready for everything else Bucks. I mean, we don't want to think about
There's
it
a
that
Giannis
much.
book coming out in what, 3 weeks too? Like
Yes.
perfect
Sure
timing
is.
for
What is today? Is today Tuesday?
well, not Wednesday.
Now it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
The next time it's Tuesday, there's going to be a Euro step we're recording. Rohan and I are talking to Mir and Fader about the book that's coming out in August. So that's going to be great. There's going to be draft coverage. We'll do all the other stuff. Like we're not taking extended time off. Even if the schedule allowed, we wouldn't do it. But Bucks content, wall to wall, cross platform, YouTube, Twitter Spaces, the podcast feed, maybe more platforms. We'll see. We talked about exploring stuff in the off season. That doesn't
Jesus,
really
I
exist.
feel tired all of a sudden.
MySpace.
Well, we've got some plans.
Yeah, we've got
Cyber
plans.
Dust, Mark Cuban, you can find us.
Yeah. That was a good.
We're going to space.
That
We're not going
NBA
to
Jam
space.
T-shirt is already sold out, by the way.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't-
literally
serious?
since I sent the link to you, it's gone.
Damn.
the feared T-shirt that Blue Wire put out with the deer with 2 rings on the horns is, I think, still available. So check that out if you need a shirt. But GSPN, Eurostep Podcast Network, the content, we got more planned. The pods are going to keep coming. We're amped. We're juiced. There's even more to talk about now, and it's good
Someone
stuff.
say juice.
So he should have been in the building
OJ's
too.
back.
He should have been in the building too.
I said that.
No, we should.
Bring him back.
There's a Pac-Man Bucks championship shirt.
There is,
What?
there is. Yeah,
It's kind of good.
kind of is the.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, though,
Yeah.
I want each of you to give. No, not even that. I want each of you to give me like a few sentences.
Score
on what this
prediction?
means to you personally.
4-2.
Oh man.
Hey, there we go. What does this
Uh,
mean to you personally?
well, am I going first in this?
Well, you're the first one who
you
talked.
started talking,
so
so
yeah,
yeah.
you kinda,
Shit. A lot. Like a lot. It's this weird thing that I've been doing for 6+ years of my life where I don't sleep very well. And I've been following this team in this state and this city in the Midwest that, not the most glamorous, not everyone's the most familiar with it. And it started as just, oh yeah, I guess I'll write about this team. And I've fallen completely and utterly head over heels in love with the team, in love with the people of the city I haven't been to. That'll be rectified.
Yeah, I was gonna say yet.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. Like it's to spend so many hours doing something. This applies for all fans. Forget that, I've written about the team, a podcast with the team. It's to have watched so many games, so many hours, and to have the moment like this. It's incredible. What more could you ask for? I thought I wanted it last year before I finished writing. Looking at Jordan's face right now, I think it worked out just perfectly for me. But I honestly, it's a gift. The books have been a gift to me. To reiterate Rohan's intro, like we're all here because of that. We're all here, as Ty said before either of you even got into Zoom, because I put up a post on Reddit looking for writers that Ty saw and Jordan saw one like very shortly afterwards, and everything goes from there. And that's a real gift to something really, really cool in my life. So very appreciative, very, very cool moment.
All right.
For me, it's just I'm super happy for like me and us, but more so than that, the players and Bud.
Mm-hmm.
Like Khris, I've talked about it so much, but like Khris and Giannis, they were on a laughing stock of a team. Nobody cared about them, and until a week ago, today, they were both denigrated and doubted as not good enough to do what they just did. So, Bud, who I've come around on drastically, who he earned it, and also like the other fans, because we, especially Adam, Rohan, and I think like we really love the Bucks and we've rode through a lot. But I mean, like I mentioned an hour ago on this literally more than that on this podcast, Jordan has been here longer. And like, again, if you're 49 years old, You've never been alive for this. And
Jordan is now 49 years old.
No, he's not. I'm not.
I am actually.
He's probably mentally after this run, but I mean, there's people in their 40s who have loved the Bucks their whole lives and rode for them and been following us and listening to our content because they love the team so much when not a lot of people were, and we appreciate the hell out of that. Trust me, and everyone, not just those people, everyone who has been around for years and years and now, but those people who have been riding and mostly dying with the Bucks for 4 decades who get to see this. Like, I think that's what it means the most for me. And it's just special. It's just really special to see a city that sports wise had been dormant for so long come alive and have nearly 70,000 people outside of a building crammed together post pandemic to watch the team do this. Like, it's just incredible to see this whole fan base, region, everything come alive and to play, not to play a role, but to just be able to be involved in this deeply in it in every single game. It's just been incredible. Jordan.
I guess I'll get serious for a second. Yeah, I mean, I share a lot of the same things that Ty and Adam have said. I have been a Bucks fan for a lot of my life, but there was times where I just didn't pay attention to the team because, newsflash, they weren't that good. It's not fun to cheer for a team that was not good for a long time.
Carlos Delfino erasure.
I apologize, Carlos, who also should get a ring. But no, there's just it's connected me through friends and family and all this stuff, and obviously with all you guys too. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I didn't have to respond to Adam's post on Reddit about wanting to write about the Bucks. You know what I mean? But it was one of those things where you see what there was at the time about like just Bucks coverage and just like all this stuff. Like, we are just so spoiled with where it is right now. It was not like this at all. I mean, whether it's podcasting, writing, guys at The Athletic, the people at the Journal Sentinel, Brew Hoop, Frank Madden, Jeremy Schmidt.
I'm glad you said Frank's name. Frank was
like, Alex Boder, all these people that like when I got back into Bucks fandom and I, really wanted to start following basketball again, 10 years ago or however long it's been. Those are the people that I've always looked up to and really diligently followed their work and kind of forced and reading all that stuff and and just seeing how they were and all that stuff. It wanted me to kind of make that step personally. And I'm not saying I'm equal to there because they literally brought about Bucks fandom in ways that it was just, to Ty's point, this stuff was not like this at all. It was dead beyond repair at one point. And so it's that stuff that kind of, it always like brings me or kind of joy in terms of like, there are people that stuck through all the shit when the Bucks were bad. It's not even just the year that they won 15 games. It's the stuff that was before that, where it's like, what are they necessarily building towards? And then they hit the biggest, gamble in human history or NBA history. And he just led the Bucks to the finals and to win a championship after dropping 50 points. And it's stuff like that where it's like, it's not, this is what I envision personally doing with my life, but I'm very glad that I have. And it's, it's nice like this where it just kind of reinforces like why you put all the time and effort of like following a team to the point of like, you're almost like a man child, I guess. I don't know. but it's just like all that stuff where it's just like,
like a crazy person though. That's a real thing.
You're furiously, diligently looking through your phone, like, damn it, they traded Tyler Ennis for Michael Beasley. I remember.
Well, that was very you.
Don't get me started.
Very you, George.
It's stuff like that where it's like, all this shit does not matter when they freaking win a title. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
We can finally stop worrying about Austin Rivers as soon as Rohan is done choking. Also,
Rohan has to give his.
I know. As soon as he's done, he's literally like
that's some strategic, coughing going on there.
A very turnt Peter Fagan just made an announcement that. I mean, sorry. Look at the video. Judge for yourselves. Judge for yourselves. I don't know about being behind the wheel, but the parade is Thursday. The parade is Thursday, is what we've learned. So plan accordingly, Milwaukee. It's no laws anymore. Okay, Rohan. What does it mean to you to do all this?
Yeah, so to give context, I was drinking some water and absolutely choked on it. So that's
awesome. It water?
But no.
Like Chris Paul.
Yes.
It was Jason Kidd hit me.
Yeah.
Glad you caught that, Rohan.
I guess I should probably get a little emotional here. I've tried my absolute best throughout my time covering this team for Behind the Buck Fest and here on the Eurostep to be as objective as possible. But that's near impossible when this is a team that means so much to me. I started following this team in the 14-15 season. Jabari Parker was my savior. I wasn't a basketball fan. I really wasn't. I didn't start watching basketball at all until the 14-15 season. I was like, let's give this a shot. Because in my life, like I was at a very low point in my life. I was like, I got to try something here. I've just got to work through this. Let's try something. Let's try watching the Milwaukee Bucks. And I fell in love with the team. I really did. And we've joked about this before. Like I'm young. I'm going to be in a week. I'm going to be 22. Like I'm young. I feel like I've grown up with this team.
How old are you?
I really do. I'm 21.
I did not know this.
Damn. I was doing a Reggie Evans thing. Damn. Ron, do you not get it? Do you not remember the...
He's too young to get the reference.
He was in diapers.
No, I get the reference.
Damn. Okay, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's the thing. But yeah, I feel like I've grown up with this team. I've been through the trials and tribulations with this team, and it's like you fall in love with the main characters of this story, and you just want to root for them. You want to root for them so hard. You want to relate to them as much as possible. Like, again, I said I fell in love with this team at one of the low points in my life, and this last year was one of the low points of my life again. And this team managed to help me drag myself out of it. Like I said, it's easy to fall in love with the main characters if you can try and relate to them. And it's really, really, really cool and inspirational this team is to see the funny kid with the funny name go out there and do the fucking thing, you know? It just makes you think that anything's possible, man.
Amen to that.
Fuck yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't have my life right now if not for the Milwaukee Bucks. I'd be alive, but like the life I'm living right now. I didn't mean to get that dramatic, but like I went to UW Oshkosh, started as an education major, did not care for it at all.
Scared the shit out of me then.
Yeah, I gave Adam a panic attack because he put his post on Bucks Reddit looking for Bucks writers, no experience. I was just getting into the NBA. This guy let me write articles like I knew what the fuck I was talking about, but I liked the first article so much. I changed my major to journalism, and I told Adam, and only later I found out he was like free. Like, oh my god, I hope this guy didn't just ruin his life. It's worked out.
I was sitting. Well. I remember specifically getting the message. I was sitting with my parents. I was like, oh my god, this guy's just changed his whole career path. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. He only started a week ago. What? And here we are.
Yeah,
it worked out. I guess
it worked out. It did work out. So shout out Adam McGee and the Bucks.
Shout out Zaza. Zaza is the reason we're all here. I chose to write about the Milwaukee Bucks because I loved Zaza Pachulia, ever true to the brand. And I had I could have at the time I could have taken on a Brooklyn Nets site. That was the other the other option. I could have been on another side of this whole run with another group of people. But no, I chose a Bucks side.
Save for Brook Lopez.
Yeah, and here we all are. It was a good decision.
All the
Just a
decisions
bunch of
worked out.
idiots sitting in a Zoom call.
Yep. That's all we've ever been, really.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna be a bunch of idiots at a fucking parade. At a fucking ring night, Adam.
Who's gonna bring the iPad to be Adam at the parade? I've got one I don't value that much.
Oh, are you talking about who's like going to be like the Thanasis? Like we're like an IG live.
Somebody's got to hold him up and be like, "Hey, here's what's happening."
I like this idea. We'll workshop this some more.
I'm charging it tomorrow.
Is it out of charge?
Yeah, I mean I don't use it that much.
We don't
need to have the iPad.
This is not how the championship winning podcast ends. You know, we got to do another 10 minutes if this is what it's going to go to. But they did it, guys.
They did it. They won a Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh my God, 50 points.
Are we doing a review?
NBA champs.
Oh yeah, I do have a review.
Who's taking us home?
Well, Rohan is, but let me do the Apple review. Leave 5 stars on
5
Apple.
stars, everyone.
This is quite the honor for whoever this lucky reviewer is. You know, they're getting immortalized on a good episode.
It's a good one. So I realized I've been checking on my phone, but if I check a different way, I can see all the international ones too. So
my people.
Yes. So this is Jules.esq, who left this review from the Philippines, where he lives. It will be Bucks in 6 tie is the title of the review, which is absolutely legendary now because this was left 11 days ago. Listening to Eurostep collab, it's a 5-star review. Listening to Eurostep collab pods after games is therapeutic because you guys are both passionate about our team and objective enough to point out what you think the team needs to do. One way to improve your, quote, service, quote, is by convincing our favorite Win 6 guys to be more active in the Discord. We need real-time input /
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I'm active enough in the Discord to know that today is Jules' birthday.
Yes. Yes.
Happy birthday.
I might be a lurker, but I see things. I think we can't all be Thai, right? We can't all be Thai in 1,000 different places at once.
Yeah.
But I am there. I tried to jump in, and I saw that today. So, I mean, this is a pretty good birthday present. I'm not talking about your review being read out in the podcast. Bucks win the championships. Good way to have your birthday. So, just to prove that I am in the Discord.
We'll be in there more, maybe. But thank you for the review, Jules, and everyone who's listened and left one.
Yeah.
Keep leaving them. We appreciate all the support, as always. More to come. A lot more to come.
More to come for sure. We're going to have content at the parade.
Yes.
Because there's going to be a fucking parade. Because they won it. They won the title. None of us have
met before. That's a fun fact.
It's a while.
No, we have.
None of us have met before. So that'll be interesting. Jordan's going to
No one knows I have a peg.
You guys didn't know how old I was.
I knew. I was doing a Reggie Evans bit wrong.
Sure.
Actually, I didn't know how old.
I did not know.
No. I had my suspicions, but I think was also wrong.
I think Rohan lied on his birth cert to get in behind the book pass at the time.
No, you know what's funny? I actually got an email at the time when who was it Phil Watson who was running it?
It was
at the time?
Yeah. Shout out to Phil.
And he emailed me like, "Are you 17?" It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, that's the cutoff.
Just barely. Wow.
You know what? I don't think it was the cutoff, but Phil's a really good guy who, again, I wouldn't have taken on the site if it wasn't for Phil. So that's a nice way that all worked out.
Yeah. So sure. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, we're going to have lots of content coming ahead. Make sure you leave those 5-star reviews. Enjoy it. I'm not going to have like a long drawn out outro or anything. Enjoy this. Check out all the stuff I've said before. Just enjoy the moment. The Bucks are NBA champions. Cherish the moment. Go Bucks.